Hello, I'm Jacob Stein. I'm an asset protection attorney in Los Angeles, California. And welcome to this quick and to-the-point video on protecting a personal residence. So for most of our clients, their personal residence is usually their biggest asset, their most important asset, and usually the asset that they have the greatest amount of emotional attachment to. So for most of our clients, this is the most important asset to protect. How do we protect a personal residence? Turns out that something like a personal residence is a difficult asset to protect. A personal residence is real property, it's real estate. And like any real estate, it is not an asset that is easy to move, right? If we are protecting something like cash we can take, it's a fungible asset, and move it, let's say, overseas, move it to a different state, into some sort of a structure, easily. But what do you do with the real estate? You know, I don't have a shovel large enough to move your personal residence to a foreign country. So there are three ways of protecting a personal residence, and really the same three ways of protecting any real property. Three basic ways, and then there are a number of permutations on each of these. So I'll give you the three basic ways of protecting personal residence, and then we'll discuss the different permutations. So the first way of protecting a personal residence, and from my standpoint, from the standpoint of asset protection, this is the best way to go, and that's to sell the personal residence. Cash is a much easier asset for us to protect. So if we can convert a personal residence, if we can convert real estate into cash, we take an asset that is really difficult to protect, convert it into an asset that is easy for us to protect. And this is exactly what we'll advise clients to do when they are being chased by an aggressive creditor and there's a lot of money on the line. Sell your personal residence, convert it into cash, and then let us protect the cash. The second way of protecting a personal residence is to transfer title of the residence out of the client's name. And this is probably the most commonly used way of protecting the residence. There are many different ways of transferring title. I'll come back to that in a second and give you some samples of that. And then the third way of protecting the residence is to place a lien on the residence, maybe a friendly lien from a friendly party, to what's called strip out the equity that is in the residence. Okay? So we can sell the residence, we can transfer title of the residence out of the debtor's name, out of our client's name, or we can place a friendly lien on the residence. So selling the residence, usually that means actually listing the property for sale, like entering it into the MLS system or selling as a pocket deed, and having a stranger come in and buy the residence. But because a lot of our clients are not willing to sort of part with their residence, and it's so difficult for them to move out, they have to pack, find a new place to live, it's a hassle, right? So sometimes we may be able to structure a transaction where a friendly third party, a white knight, comes in, purchases the residence from our client, and then allows the client to lease the residence back. So the client continues to live in the residence, subject to a lease agreement, but he sold it. So now we take the sale proceeds, and again we do something to protect the sale proceeds. If selling the residence is not a possibility, how do we transfer title out of the client's name, right? And it's the goal of every asset protection structure. Take an asset that the client owns, make it not his. So how do we transfer title of the personal residence out of the client's name? Well, we can transfer the personal residence to a spouse, we can transfer personal residence to the kids, to an LLC, to a trust, to some sort of a retirement plan type of a structure. And there are even variations on all of these. One structure we definitely do not recommend is transferring the personal residence to the kids. Because if we gift the personal residence to the kids, that transfer can be challenged by the creditor as a fraudulent transfer, and the kids get sued for assisting you in a fraudulent transfer. Please don't do that. The most commonly used structure for a personal residence will be either to transfer the residence to the wife or to the husband, right, to the other spouse, and make it their separate property, or to transfer the ownership of the residence into an irrevocable trust for the benefit of the kids, instead of to the kids directly. And then the final way of protecting the residence is to place a friendly lien on the property. So this may be an actual lien, like you go to the bank and you borrow money, and the loan is secured by the equity in the residence, and as soon as the loan is in place and the deed of trust is recorded, the equity is gone and your residence is a much less attractive asset to pursue. If actually borrowing money is not in the cards for you, then maybe you have a friendly party, friend, family member, who can extend a loan to you, or at least extend the line of credit to you, secure the line of credit with a deed of trust against the property, and for all effective purposes, the equity in the property is gone. So to summarize, there is no easy way of protecting a personal residence. It's, you know, your residence will always be where it has always been, right? We cannot move it. The judge, the local judge, will always have jurisdiction over it. So how do we protect it? We can sell it, we can transfer title out of your name, we can place a lien on your residence. I'm Jacob Stein, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation on protecting a personal residence. Thank you.